Generally, you attract the birds and you try to put the food in a small circumference so they come to that. But as they come, I'm looking at feet. That's all I'm looking at is feet, 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 feet. Oh, there's one. And then I'll focus on that one and put the food closer to it and try to create chaos. And then, when she least expects it, you pin the bird and just grab them with one hand. And then put them close to your chest. My name is Brenda Ray. I live in New York City, and I rescue pigeons by helping them if they're in need. It started when I was emptying my compost at Union Square Green Market, and there was a flock of pigeons, and I noticed that one was hobbled by string, and I felt compelled to do something. I didn't know what to do, so I looked it up online. Is there a way to help pigeons?
Since noticing how often string, hair, and dental floss get stuck around pigeons' feet, Brenda has developed the ultimate pigeon rescuing kit, which includes a sock to wrap the pigeons in and keep them calm.
So this is my little rescue bag that I take out. One of the most important, the most important is birdseed. This is a nice mix for ground feeding birds like doves and pigeons, seeds, little cracked corn, and sunflower. How does a bird get wrapped up in dental floss? Well, if they're walking on the street and it gets caught, and they don't have a way to kind of like really take a hand and go like, "Doosh, get it out of here." As it gets caught around and it pulls, gets tighter. And the other foot it pulls and gets tighter and just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then they're hobbled. Where'd you go? Oh, shit. I've always loved animals of every kind. I really don't. There's no no-go zone. I mean, cuteness isn't a factor, it's another living being. I do love birds because I think if I had one wish, it would be to fly. I would love to fly. I admire them for that. They're just very in the moment. Everything. Animals are in the moment, aren't they? They're not thinking about what happened yesterday. Most New Yorkers are okay cohabitating with pigeons, with wildlife. They just don't want to get too close. They don't want to interact.
What the fuck?
Recently, Brenda's rescuing attracted some attention from high school senior Ava Vogel.
I'm going to use the seam splitter to go in there. So I'm going to just get under it and cut it. And there are different ways. Like sometimes you want to just unwind it, but this is nice and loose. So obviously you got to be really gentle. But if this lasted for like a couple of years, this would take her toes off, it would
cut circulation.
Yep, it would cut circulation off. I think you're a pigeon de-stringer in the making.
I think I am too.
That was Ava's first time holding a pigeon, though she's loved birds her whole life. Eager to do it again, she and Brenda returned to Union Square a few days later.
Well, I had so much freaking fun holding that pigeon, and then when we met up again, a lot of pigeons were injured, their feet were all messed up.
Brenda found a few pigeons that needed to be taken to the Wild Bird Fund, a sanctuary that could treat them for their injuries.
She gave me a bag of sunflower seeds so you can feed them. So I stood in the park for 30 minutes feeding these birds, and they were up and down my arm, and it was crazy. I had some people stop and take some photos of me holding all of these birds.
But not everyone is on board with Ava's new hobby.
My mom hates birds. She hates them with a passion. So when I showed her I was holding all these pigeons, she was so flabbergasted.
Her mom's attitude isn't that different from the average New Yorker's.
I guess people just think they're dirty, but like, I don't really know what people like expect a bird in a city to do. I mean, humans are the ones that make the city so dirty. If you really hate pigeons that much where you hurt them, you probably don't treat humans that good either if you're doing that to something so like, you know, like vulnerable and everything. Something that can't fight back.
I do see living other things as sacred. It's kind of, it's beyond birds though, because I can also see people as sacred. If you see everything as sacred, then it can really bring a lot of heart and compassion into one's life.
You just gently open your hands. Yay, so